Today in Los Angeles, the headlines are hotter than the Santa Ana winds, and that's saying something. I'm Dean Bark. Welcome to the City Report with Dean Bark, here in Los Angeles. First up, Uber driver accused in devastating Palisades fire faces trial amidst mental health concerns. Jonathan Rinderknecht, a 29-year-old Uber driver and the federal defendant in the Lockman and Palisades fires, is on trial in downtown Los Angeles. Prosecutors say he set the Lockman fire in January 2025 above Pacific Palisades. That blaze later reignited as the Palisades fire. The toll was staggering: 12 lives lost and billions of dollars in damage across canyon communities on LA's west side. In court, federal prosecutors and an ATF agent. The ATF is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. They have outlined digital breadcrumbs and behavior. They point to Rinderknecht's online rants, his extensive chats with ChatGPT, an artificial intelligence chatbot he reportedly used like a journal, and what they call attempts to delete phone data as investigators closed in. They also cite erratic movements around the ignition area as the fire burned. Rinderknecht denies wrongdoing. The defense says there's no direct proof of arson, no accelerant, no witness seeing a deliberate spark. They argue the case leans heavily on inference and on the defendant's mental health struggles, which they say explain his behavior but do not prove a crime. That legal tension is front and center here. Arson cases often hinge on reconstruction and motive rather than a smoking match. By January 2025, Rinderknecht had become a target for arson investigators, and the probe ramped up from there. If convicted on the federal counts, Rinderknecht faces up to 45 years in prison. For now, key facts remain under dispute, including whether any ignition was intentional. The testimony about his mental state may be pivotal. Time to dig into the details, but also to remember, allegations are not verdicts, and this jury has work to do. It's alarming how mental health issues can remain unnoticed until tragedy strikes. And speaking of tragedy, next up, tragic crash in Santa Maria raises alarms on youth alcohol consumption. Santa Maria, a city in northern Santa Barbara County with deep immigrant roots and close ties to agriculture, is reeling after a devastating crash that killed 5 local teenagers. One survivor remains in critical condition. The wreck happened just days before high school graduations, a week when joy should have been the headline. Investigators say alcohol is suspected, but the full cause is still under review. Community leaders and youth advocates, local nonprofits focused on teen safety and health, are calling for tighter guardrails around underage access to alcohol. That includes stricter ID checks, curbs on youth-favored beverages, and stepped-up education for parents and students as summer parties ramp up. It's a familiar refrain in California, even with years of DUI awareness campaigns and school assemblies. Awareness helps, but culture often sets the pace. For families across Los Angeles, the lesson travels fast on the 101. It's graduation season here too. Law enforcement officials say prevention works best when peers intervene early, adults set clear rules, and retailers follow the letter of the law. Now that's worth discussing before the next set of weekend plans gets made. It's disheartening that it takes a tragedy to ignite conversations about deeply rooted issues. Shifting gears. Next up, massive fire devastates California warehouse, smoke visible for miles. In Tracy, east of the Bay Area, a 1 million square foot Medline distribution center. Medline is a major medical supplies company. It went up in flames Wednesday afternoon around 1 p.m. The fire started on the roof, then jumped to a neighboring FedEx facility. FedEx is a shipping giant with an enormous logistics footprint. Both buildings were evacuated. No injuries reported. Fire crews working in hot, gusty conditions with limited water access typical of industrial zones managed to contain the fire at the FedEx site. The Medline warehouse is considered a total loss. Investigators will not determine the cause until the structure is safe to enter and fully extinguished. One eyebrow raiser from the scene. Sprinklers were reportedly not operating when firefighters first entered. Looks like someone forgot the memo. For healthcare providers and pharmacies statewide, any supply chain hiccup bears watching. Large distributors like this sit at the center of hospital and clinic restocking. From physical safety to civic safeguards, the importance of operational safety measures can't be overstated, especially in industrial settings. Next up, voter fraud allegations stir controversy in LA's Skid Row amidst mayoral race. After the June 2025 Los Angeles mayoral primary, claims flared on social media that ballots from people experiencing homelessness in Skid Row, the downtown neighborhood with one of the nation's largest concentrations of unhoused residents, were used to rig the race against candidate Spencer Pratt, a celebrity turned political hopeful. A viral TikTok video suggested people were paid for votes. County election officials and independent experts say they've found no evidence to support those allegations. Here are 2 points of law and process. First, individuals without traditional housing can legally register to vote by listing where they spend most nights. That's long-standing policy meant to protect civic participation. Second, even if isolated fraud occurs, experts note the numbers would have to be significant to alter citywide results, and there's no sign of that. This dust-up mirrors national cycles we've seen before. Screenshots are not affidavits, and virality is not verification. The power of misinformation in today's digital age is both remarkable and concerning. On a more hopeful note, last up, ambitious Healthy Village vision for LA's General Hospital faces funding hurdles. Los Angeles County wants to turn the historic Art Deco General Hospital into a so-called Healthy Village, a 30-acre campus with affordable and mixed-income housing, clinics, local businesses, community gardens, and public spaces. Centennial Partners, named as the master developer, is steering the plan. The goal is to knit healthcare and daily life together. Call it a neighborhood designed around wellness, not just treatment rooms. There's a catch, and it's a big one. Price tag between $1 and $2 billion. Money secured so far, about $120 million, enough to start early work but a long way from the finish line. The county is looking to a blend of private investment, philanthropy, and public dollars. Timeline estimates run up to 15 years. Environmental reviews, community input, and market shifts will all play a role. Let's not overcomplicate this. Vision is clear, funding is not. Ambitious visions require equally ambitious funding strategies. Let's hope this project finds its backers. And that's all the news that fits for today. Thanks for tuning in to the City Report with Dean Bark here in Los Angeles. Stay informed, stay safe, and see you tomorrow.